Hello, I'm Rob.
And I'm Rob.
And time for another Press X video game chat. That's what it says on the homepage for our YouTube channel. So that's what we're doing. Usual YouTube malarkey here, but please do subscribe and click that notification bell, as it is much more important for us up-and-coming channels than it is for the big daddies of YouTube. This week, I want to sort of use the newly released, or upcoming, I can't recall its schedule. I think it might be out by now.
Upcoming.
Of Death Stranding to talk about the walking simulator.
Yeah, I've seen the press about Death Stranding, and I'm a little confused.
It seems, I mean, one of the more respected reviews, I'm not going to bring like the integrity of the platform into question, because I know lots of people think, oh, it was written there. Ew, that sucks. They're being bought by the developers. They're not too honest. So to avoid the one reviewer read, it said, it's an incredible piece of sci-fi fiction in a game we can't support its ideas. And because it seems to me, a lot of people are sort of along the same sort of lines, along the same sort of agreements. They're saying that it's basically a UPS man at the end of the world with little spliced moments of survival horror and stealth, but mostly it's Norman Reedus as UPS man.
So, hang on.
Or is it UPN? Whatever.
Hang on. Let me get this straight. Does that mean I was right?
What did you say?
I postulated ages ago, when we first started seeing the actual gameplay of Death Stranding, I said, so Hideo Kojima has basically made the video game version of Kevin Costner's The Postman.
Well, you did say that. That is
and
right.
That's basically what it is, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's The Postman.
Yeah, but there's a different question there, isn't there, that comes out of this. Does that mean through Hideo Kojima, he's become one of these people who, I hate to say it because I don't like him as a person or as a creator, I've gone off him hard.
You're going to talk about David Cage, aren't you?
No, I'm not. But what I'm going to talk about is somebody like, with the sort of instant cachet of Hideo Kojima, where most of the things that he does now will sell like a certain amount, will this make the walking simulator mainstream?
No.
Elaborate.
I will defend. Okay, I don't think the walking simulator is going to become mainstream. I think with Death Stranding, the big problem you got here, right, is with games like Death Stranding, there is a limited amount of things you can do. There are a limited amount of things that you can do in the game, and that is by design.
Yeah.
Okay, and when you start... See, here's the big question. What's the difference between a walking simulator and a third-person action adventure?
The action.
And the adventure.
Well, no, there's an element of adventure to walking simulators. It's just positioned in a very, very different way. It's not like I'm going to this cave system, I'm going to jump about this cave system. Oh, there's a little bit of tuft coming out the wall. I'm going to jump across that even though my arms have no business being that strong. What is Nathan Drake's workout regime? He is insanely strong in the upper body. None of that.
Yeah.
It's just walking and going into people's houses and finding clues and seeing the stories that were left there. So it's technically adventure, but as far as it's an action adventure, they are very diametrically opposed.
Yeah, but my point is, why would you want to play a video game where you just walk around and do literally very little? Why don't you just go for a walk?
Yeah. Have you played any? Or are you just being obviously dismissive?
No, I've played plenty of them, and I like some of them. I thought Dear Esther was actually a really interesting piece of art. I really enjoyed Gone Home. That Dragon Cancer was a deeply moving story. But when it comes to stuff like Death Stranding, I think it's too high concept for a lot of people. I'm a sci-fi junkie, you know this.
Well, personally, I think Death Stranding is going to be one of those games that you see dozens and dozens and dozens and dozens and dozens of in every single second-hand shop that sells games up and down the country.
But that's
it will be though, won't it?
Yeah, it will be. It will be, and one of the main reasons is it's far too high concept. As I said, I am a sci-fi junkie. You know this. Okay, I'm a cat-carrying sci-fi junkie, but
sci-fi where there's space adventures and lasers.
I ain't talking about that sort of sci-fi. I'm talking like proper hardcore, dyed-in-the-wool, gene splicing, cybernetics, all sorts of stuff like that. Real hardcore sci-fi. I like that stuff, right? And even I find Death Stranding's whole methodology, ideology, concept, whatever, even I find it pretentious.
Wow. That word came out.
When I say it's far too high concept, I mean exactly that. There are some ideas in there that are interesting, but they just, when you look at them, an interesting idea doesn't mean to say that it needs to be added.
Well, yeah. I mean, returning to the walking simulator, I think there's a place for them in games. I do think the term, just calling them walking simulator, is incredibly reductive.
Yeah, I mean...
but I think it's a different type of game. I think it's a type of game where you can tell a story in a way which games don't traditionally allow. Because it's basically... it's an iteration on the point-and-click adventure.
It is, in a sense. But
yeah, in a sense. I'm not being very obvious with it, but in a sense.
I want to also point out that a walking simulator doesn't have to involve walking.
It didn't.
No, because I don't know if you...
Abzu.
I was thinking... I don't know if I would include that in it, but... no, because let's just define what a walking simulator is. It's usually first person. It's usually you walk around somewhere which is empty, either after something has happened, or just processing some sort of emotional thing which happened. Or in the case of Tacoma, it's after something which has happened in that space station, and it's just figuring out what's happened. Abzu is just a Zen simulator.
Yeah, but that's my point.
I like that as a genre, by the way.
Yeah,
a Zen simulator.
How's Abzu any different from something like Dear Esther or
completely different,
or the Unfinished Swan?
I don't know if Unfinished Swan. It has elements of it. Unfinished Swan.
Unfinished Swan is clearly a walking simulator.
But I think walking simulators are basically they're all about the narrative. Abzu hasn't a narrative.
But that's my point. Does a walking simulator have to have a narrative? It's a walking simulator.
You get very highfalutin on this.
Sometimes you just want to go for a walk.
If you just want to go for a walk, just go for a walk.
See, now you're parroting me.
But that's not what walking simulators are about, because as I mentioned, these things are about the narrative. I mean, Dear Esther is a game about depression, and could you see Gears of War 6 being an intimate expression of what it's like for one man to be depressed? Can you, really? Because I can't.
I'm hang on, give me a second to work this out.
It can.
No.
But on a similar note, I think there is games which could also have worked as a walking simulator. One which I was on the bus to recording this today. The one which is sort of spinning around my head and thinking that's a great idea. But I think BioShock could have been a great walking simulator.
Yeah. Actually, BioShock could have.
So there's games which, just because it's a very specific type of game that is it, doesn't mean it's limited by what it currently is. It can also be other things. BioShock is, you could have sort of a horror edge to the walking simulator.
See, here's the thing, though. This is where I start. This is where I start being a bit skeptical.
It's a very limited genre. There's no doubt about that.
Well, it's not that. I'm a bit skeptical about it as a genre in the first place. And one of the reasons why is because there is a genre called first-person adventure.
Yeah.
That is already a thing.
But there's action in that, isn't there?
No. First-person adventure is already a genre.
What's some of the things in that?
So I'm going to be reviewing Deliver Us the Moon at some point. And yes, there is action in that, but it is very much a first-person adventure with third-person elements in there as well. What was that? I don't know what that Tacoma
was. What was that one called? There was one where you were basically on the moon, and you had to investigate sort of an empty space station, like across the planet or something. I can't remember what it was called. It's on PS and it's on a couple of things. I'll probably figure it out and put it in the notes below when I
but stuff like the Stanley Parable is a first-person adventure.
What's that one called? The one which was at the PC gaming show, which you seemed to like. It's sort of like No Man's Sky, but harder sci-fi. Journey something. Journey to the Outer Galaxy or something. I don't know. Again, I'll put that one in the notes too. But
I mean,
No
stuff like
Man's Sky is also one of those.
Yeah, but stuff like Firewatch and that.
Because I don't know if there's any action in No Man's Sky.
There is action in No Man's Sky.
Limited. Firewatch is a walking simulator through and through. You know.
No, Firewatch is a first-person adventure.
We're getting into sketchy territory here.
That's what I mean. Where's the line between the two? Because
I think just to move the goalpost here. There's a thing in music where a journalist will make their name by penning some ridiculous genre. So the guy who penned dubstep, he's got his name carved in stone now.
Yeah,
he's dubstep man.
Exactly.
So I think that's what happened here. Walking Simulator is some video games journalist who thought, I know what I'm going to call this. I'm going to be carved in the stars. You can't be carved in the stars, but I'm going to be carved in the stars. I'm going to call this a walking simulator. FNAF.
The thing is, a walking simulator, I don't think is as big a genre as everybody thinks. I think a lot of the games.
I could bring them about 12 tops, and that's all it.
But that's the thing. A lot of the games that are, I think, get misnomered as walking simulators are actually just dyed-in-the-wool first-person adventures.
Yeah. That's fair. That's a fair point. But I'm not saying one's bad and the other's good. I think they all have the potential to be great games.
Yeah.
It's just a different way to tell the story. It removes action from being the point of the game.
I think calling a game like Firewatch is reductive because when you call it a walking simulator, you're saying, okay, it's going around. Gone Home is a walking simulator, right?
If it was a walking simulator where you're playing at sort of micro cell level, then fair enough. It's an action
Let's
game.
look at the difference between Gone Home and Firewatch, for example, for a second.
I've not played Firewatch, but go on, I'll try.
Okay, Firewatch is basically an adventure because there is an element of thrill about it. Okay?
It seemed minimal, but okay.
There is an element of thrill, there is an element of excitement, whereas Gone Home
is a lie. I've just got to get this on my chest. Gone Home really sets itself up like something horrific and horrible is going to happen, and it pulls it away from you.
Yeah, I know.
It's a total tease.
Yeah, I know.
I know it's championed as sort of one of the great LGBT games. I'm not disputing that. It does do that particularly tastefully, but it just promised horror and it didn't give it. Bad game.
You know you love Gone Home.
No, because of that reason. It promised horror and it teased me.
It did a great job of setting up the atmosphere, though, didn't it?
It teased me hard, Rob. What, there's nothing? Oh, you are going on the bad list, you are Gone Home. But other than that, it's great, yeah.
Hang on, did you go, naughty game, you naughty game?
Yeah, and I started... Actually, that's probably why my old computer died. I started slapping my computer. Oh, well. I'm blaming you, Gone Home.
But yeah, Gone Home it's very centralized. It's an exploration of something.
It's a small house, yeah. American country.
The thing is, and I think that's one of the ways you can identify the difference between a first-person adventure and a walking simulator. Walking simulators for me are a bit more introspective. They deal a bit more on they act a bit more on an emotional level. So that Dragon Cancer, Dear Esther, Gone Home, that sort of thing. They're all very much. They're all.
What Remains of Edith Finch.
Yeah, everyone's got the Rapture.
Yeah.
Do you see what I mean? Whereas stuff like Firewatch was a thriller.
It's a bit more mainstream. It's a bit more accessible. What Firewatch was doing.
But I mean, The Vanishing of Ethan Carter. Is that a walking simulator or a first-person adventure?
Never played that one. But, yeah, I mean, it's an interesting topic, but yeah, I mean, these are games we like. You know? It's refreshing, honestly. I think that just making this as a closing point, it's refreshing that games have matured to the point where it can be about something which isn't violent or action orientated. It can just be about, here is a story, here is a place, go out, explore it.
Yeah.
And that's shown games moving forward in some really compelling ways, I think.
I just want one final bit. Layers of Fear.
Yeah, you always bring this up in every bloody video recently, but go on.
No. Layers of Fear. A lot of people class it as a walking simulator. Is it?
I've not played it. Well, it is really cheap in the PS Store, I think.
Okay.
I might have missed that sale. I've missed that sale. It doesn't matter.
There you go. So there's your challenge, Rob. Right? Play Layers of Fear and decide whether it's a walking simulator or not.
All right. Well, if it's still cheap, I'll buy it and I'll let you know. If it's not, go to hell, Rob. I'm not paying a lot of money for it. And there's a sequel out. On that, I think that's all we have time for this week. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed it, please do comment below. And we'll see you next time.